Alrighty, welcome back to Paranormasight. Okay, so I guess we're gonna find Mr. Araishi? Let's just go around. And so, Mio Korosuzu and Yako Sakazaki decided on their next location to investigate. Oh. What? Why did it do that? Oh, is it suspended now? Okay. Huh. Okay. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can be only unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. I guess I don't need to look at the surroundings. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. Oh boy. Okay. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? This volume is so finicky. It's either really loud or really quiet. Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer and have them use the right for our purpose. Not so... Okay. Oh? I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you expect. Compensation. She is rich, isn't she? Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigimas, would it? I don't remember. She said her husband works? That's why he's not around? Of course. Why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom. Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Look at his big eye. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. That's what she cares about. Okay. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little low. Seems on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it still doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. None of the curse bears seem to be very proactive. I wonder if this situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained a curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose. They are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers. You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it may seem obvious for the mastermind to be a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they are after the rite, this would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So it'd be actually more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right. But despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls, while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action. Which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making the contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there's even a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught, do you want to give up, ma'am? If there's a chance, she wants to see her son again. Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. I'm getting the feeling she's gonna do anything in her power to at least try to get her son back, even killing people. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like a potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. He's such an Ace Attorney character. First there's Ayami Tono, the girl we talked to before. Though she isn't a curse bearer herself, she's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho Park. You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into just some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me? Oh. I couldn't keep track of her. Huh. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. How did she shake you? I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. What else can we talk about? Next is the tall man who is dressed in black. I'm interested in this guy. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out with the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as the secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assume she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned about with making a profit than protecting the environment. They're still kind of like that nowadays. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the right would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare? That sounds far-fetched. That's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul dregs, right? Oh, him. Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him, though. I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the Rite of Resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. Oh my god, there's more? I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down the South Warigesui Street. Oops. Mansion. Kidnapping. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There's a body found at Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Jonochi. Have I been pronouncing that name wrong? Jonochi? Okay. I think I've been pronouncing it wrong. Do you think he was a curse bearer? I'm not sure. It's possible. But regardless, that means that the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay a visit. Understood. Oh, that's it about the kidnapping? In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Could it be possible, like... I don't know, there was another set of curse bearers before this? I don't know. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved with even more with those killings. Yeah. How? What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries curses? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. To victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. He seemed to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. Oh. So you knew... what's his face? What's his name? What was his name? The handsome... he looks like a delinquent. Hajime Yoshimi. Okay. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we were to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. Any more? We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right, let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. Let's go here. Bug in my tea? How dare you? Go away. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of the south... I would say of South Lawi Gesui Street. They were closed when I visited it this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. First I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. Are you sure? You should walk around. Visit a cafe for some tea, perhaps? That sounds nice. Do you think a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time? They have factories and warehouses throughout this area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsui Namamori is called the Queen. Oh, so we have a name. Is she related to anyone we know? I guess not. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary? That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at the resurrection as their next prize. Huh. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Anything else? I'm going to go in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. What am I gonna do? Oh. That's it. I wanted to have some tea. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt, he's the same man I saw last night. But it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the Seven Mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However, you said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? I laughed because of his lips. There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right. We lack time. I confess, I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It's a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know that the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Ms. Yamamori. Is that so? Oh, is that her? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Ms. Yamamori possesses supernatural powers, akin to those of a god, really. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyodo, who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. This is a lot. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? There are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. Really, if you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. Really? 6? Whoa. I can rest at ease then. In here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we're on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now. Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to. I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone, I presume. Oh dear. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. Huh. Sorry, I yawned a little bit. I'm kind of eepy. And that's how it went. So they aren't after the ride after all? Who knows what the truth is? I wouldn't be so quick to trust them. Yeah. Oh? I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like really, 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. It does feel realistic that the rite of resurrection is just a way to tempt the curse bearers into killing. But I don't know. I was thinking that maybe Oops. I was thinking that the serial killer? What's his name? Najima? What if it was like... What if the rite is just a ruse to get people to kill for him? He's the mastermind? But I don't know. For all I know, it's wrong. The company's plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with those curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or what are these people? I guess they're just civilians. Or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman had godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's true. He's pretty smart. That's unsettling. Let me check him out. He tells me he barely slept last night, yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what set us apart as a detective from the rest. Okay. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Yeah, it was him, wasn't it? I'm really wondering if we're gonna have an ending with him alive. Not that he was... I mean, I don't know why. I don't know I want him alive, but I want a happy ending for everyone. So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I have reason to believe that Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the Seven Mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you that I've gathered that much. Boy, my tongue. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. Oops. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. Okay. How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the Witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what is or isn't true, we must stay in one step ahead. Nothing else to talk to him about, so... Let's just visit everywhere. Why not? We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayame Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. This place is connected with the story of the Taiku of Tsugaru. Not only that, the Katsushika Hokusai's home was also in this area. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. Interesting. We won't get much done standing around here. Why don't I go and check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I'd prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Her bowel movements. Why did I say that? Then be my guest. Okay, I shouldn't be long. You know, we trust him, really. We really are, like, trusting him blindly. But he does seem like a good guy. I don't know. I'm back now. So nothing? I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or her mailbox, unfortunately. Were you planning to go that far? Oh. We won't make... Oh. I just like looking at them. It's always heartwarming to see children playing in the park. Richter seems to like kids. Perhaps because they're on the same wavelength? Oh. Is that a read? What a waste of time. We should... Okay. Okay. I wonder what we'll find here. Here we are at Ground Zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police has got this place shut down. The teacher's body was found here after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. It seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bear decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bear or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. I mean, you might as well, right? Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. Okay. I'm back, ma'am. So what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was laughing because, what did he say? I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bear note decided to turn up. It reminded me of that joke that Trixie Metallo says. I wouldn't be surprised if we never saw Denise Richards again. That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jonochi, and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. Oh. But there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mr. Jonochi. Really? The story's got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio is going to kill him for days now. A fellow teacher overheard him mumbling and told the students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around the school late at night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio is the only high school girl to wear pigtails. The rumor might have been made up to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Yeah, I don't like that. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't. No? Who knows? Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's house. I can imagine the students are easy about after learning of a murder. It may do well for them to stay home for some time, if not for fear of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Wow, he's really into this. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right, I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. What's his name again? Richard Kai. I wonder what his connection to Mr. Delinquent Hot Guy. Michio's house. Oh, okay. This is where the cops were. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home, however, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights are out. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Are we gonna be stuck here like the cops? Social connections run deep in the working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. Sorry for pointing at your face. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Ooh. Turns out the Shiraishi's reputation really went down the dumps the past year. Well, what happened? Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Oh. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in return. So far so good. Well, what happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was Kankeichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. Oh, that's too bad. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him not to hit Michio. Oh, that's so awful. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began hearing an eerie chanting. What? Through this, the Shiraishi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. Oh, that's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely. She seemed relieved that things finally quieted down. It seems that they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish, good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one's partner personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. Yeah. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem to be moved by the story, ma'am. Really? That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Oh, what? Cops? Oh, so you came here too? Huh? What is it? Yeah, the cops. Ah. Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? There we go. Here we are. Kamagata High. I think I read all of this already. Huh, that's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? I do. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Come on, Ariel. What? Ooh, the crime scene. Are we gonna do CSI shit? Hey, aren't you? You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. Yeah, about that. Say that again? Sorry about that. He's with me. They should pay you. Mr. Tsutsumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my working conditions. I agree. There should be a union for child psychics. I prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. That's not really... that's not really a wage. Wait, really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Oh, that's why it's called fancy sushi. Oh yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We've got a deal. We've got ourselves a deal. Right, boss? The girls are at our service. Hold on now. What just happened? I never side-eyed sushi? Maybe you can invite your daughter. Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You guys are funny. You should do stand-up. They are the most, likable characters. So how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather these 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach. You got 3 already? Wow. we have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me! Yako, the girl standing behind Mio! She does? Is she alright? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day. There's still something I want to find out. Does she have a theory about Yako? Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. She's kind of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. What about the other curse bearers? Have you run into any of them? Well, last night at school... You were here last night? Yes, you see. Huh. You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool. He's such a child. Like... Even she's more mature than him. So that's when you ran into the curse echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter. Somehow, we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The cursed echo we saw took shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg. What? The Whispering Canal, right? Or was it... It's the one-sided read. This is bad. What's so bad about that one? You idiot. Think the curse bearer of the one-sided read is, Nejima, right? He emitted it himself. That's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the case... Look at this. I love this pose. Nejima might have been here last night. What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? It's so funny that these two are the ones that are... the only thing standing between this horrible serial killer that's gonna kill everyone in town. Who's Nejima? No clue. Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but there are too many onlookers outside for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene too. So Nejima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his nefarious purposes. Huh? He said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today? And he's trying to get to your daughter too? That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, that was Mr. Jonochi and one of our classmates, he told me. Don't forget old man Ashimiya. Wait, Hitomi? Do you mean Hitomi Okuda? Second year student? Yes. Why? Boss. So she was here last night. I saw Hitomi earlier though she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes. Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Tomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid if she'd become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. Well... I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about the police officer, Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Hitomi say something about him? Yes, she did actually. Oh god, why do you make me keep clicking? If we're talking about people who were at the school last night, there's one person who, though, I'm not too clear on the details. There's someone else? Apparently he told me he actually saw Mr. Jinochi getting cursed and killed last night. What? Talk about some vital information. What she said happened was... Michio was the one who killed Mr. Jinochi? Are you sure it was Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. That must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Jinoichi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there whether it was Michio or not. Damn, boss. Do you really think it could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists, doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Najima was behind Jinoichi's death. But what about Hitomi's story? About this janitor, Ashimiya, was it? How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? 'Cause he's the killer! I only just transferred to this school though, so I have no idea. Oh yeah, she's a newbie. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school around half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, but so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks, I think I'm starting to get a better picture of all this. Huh? Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What are you... No way. Is this really common? Like, in Japan? Eryo. Have the officers apprehend the janitor. He worked a night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. Yes, right away. This is dangerous. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they've been looking to question Ashimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere. No. That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it. Eryo, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away. There's still more about him. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that. To think he was so close to us the whole time, it gives me chills. He even killed you in one timeline. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at high school. Let's hope it isn't already too late. Oh. I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night. What? I don't like this one bit. Ujima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but could it have been old man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? Ah, I almost told him that you were still in the building too. What? You did? Yikes, good thing I didn't say anything. Good thing I didn't say it in one timeline and reloaded. You might have gotten very lucky there, kid. This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us. Did they really need to add that? To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows. It would help if I knew more about how the curses of the Seven Mysteries first came about. In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy. You mean Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to talk to him. Tell me, where is Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to speak with him. Alright. He's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. Ooh, sneaky. Do you know where he is? I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers. Oh, the Kurokikyo cafe in Kamezawa? Thanks. We'll head over there now. School rules say we're not allowed to go to cafes though. Don't worry about it, I'll allow it. Thank you. Huh? That's all it takes? Still a lot to talk about. There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all this for a reason. I want to find out why. He told me did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something. He did? What was it? A talisman. Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes. Apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it. One that Michio had. What kind of talismans could they be, boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important. Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? She's hard to get a hold of. I'd like to talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure. She's never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us. Huh, well then. Do you think she talked to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before? Oh, they have! She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. Alright, then we better find her fast. You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying. I'm worried she's not alive anymore. Mayu Chozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her. Okay, I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh right, one more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters. What? So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Could you check on that? I will, but... well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes. Nakagoshi's the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure he exists, or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All the Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to Nakagoshi cases. Oh, is he that old man in the intro? Jeez, what's up with that? Oop. That amulet he told me he was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery. Is that it? Okay. What was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? We're best friends, right? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ariel. Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, So it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. What? A van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? What? A van. There's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat? A woman? Yako? Yes. Wait, was I... Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. It's no problem, as long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though. What was that? James? Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics, if you're wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind either. Right. Do you have any idea why Jonochi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that... I'm not sure how to put this, but... I don't want to hear it again. I see. Well, I half expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got on his hands. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. I'm curious too. Is it about her family? Michio, what happened? So this is Yako Sakazaki. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally make a friend? If she did, it would do this old man's heart good. But I better not say that out loud. I don't want to make her look bad. Mio Korosuzu. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs chief. I heard that she helps out with investigations free of charge under the guise of training. Oh god. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty while I was in Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got strong spirit sense, sharp instincts, and courage. Plus quite the brain to back it all up. That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around. It's usually easier to let Aereo do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. Okay. Let me talk to him. This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? There's this random girl you know is already involved with the case. Is there anything... Is there like a sticker anywhere? I already looked at this. Is that all they're is, just think? Jonochi was definitely, almost definitely killed by a curse. But I wonder about the exact cause of death. If the curse's origin and the curse of death are connected, it could give us another lead. I'm not sure what else to do. Oh, scene of the crime? What's that rope all about? It indicates where Jonochi's body was found. They've moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see how his arms and legs were all ugh. Cool it, Aereo. You're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you're staring at it so intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think? I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right. Traces of the curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean Jonochi was killed by one of the curses of the Seven Mysteries? Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess. No, I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop it, Mr. Susumi. She's gonna get the wrong idea. Whoa, that's amazing. Mio, you're a professional. You think? Totally, you're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome. Oh, she's worried about scaring people away because she doesn't have any friends, huh? When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. Hey boss, forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance away from the scene. What is that? A ribbon? The kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon that Michu always used to wear. What? Doesn't that mean Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers. Then did she come back to life somehow? But how? Talk to Yako? If I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Janochi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Maybe her dad? Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. That's it. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start our search for Najima and Mayu Chozawa. It might be worth it to check out Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers hanging around here. Got it. Thank you, and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Araishi about a way to lift the curse. Alright, boss. Let's go get going whenever you're ready. Alright. I think I'll stop that here, and I'll get back to this next one. We'll do more investigating. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.